Other things to think about. I've covered the 7 steps to settling an estate. Number 1 being who's responsible. Number 2, what help do you need? Number 3, is there going to be a probate? Or 4, no probate. It's either automatic or a trust administration or a small estate affidavit. Number 5, gathering the assets of the estate and paying the expenses. 6, distributing out the net assets. And number 7, bringing it to a close. Those are the 7 steps to settling the estate. Other things that I think it's really important for you to think about. Again, this is a broad overview. We're going to be providing you the 6 essential steps to do-it-yourself probate to give you a lot more information. But other things that I want you to think about is being organized. Now, if you're the person settling the estate, you have to be pretty darn organized for sure. And your job is way easier if the person who passed away was organized, that they did an estate plan so that there's clear direction for you, that you know what their list of assets are, that there isn't, this ambiguity that these assets you don't know about, you don't know what to do about. One of the things is when people do a will, there's often what's called a personal property list. Maybe you won't be surprised to hear this, but sometimes it's the personal property that causes more problems than anything else. The lamp that everybody wanted or the whatever. So on a personal property list, if that has been completed, then the person who passed away clearly said, my lamp goes to Susie. And if Susie doesn't want it, then it goes to Jimmy. Great. They can't fight over it because the person who passed away put it in their property list. Property list should be signed, dated, and kept with the will. Unlike most estate planning documents, that personal property list actually doesn't even need to be notarized or witnessed, and it can be changed at any time by the person who creates that list. So having an estate plan that's organized by the person who passed away is going to make things so much easier. Regardless of that, if you're the person administering this estate, you have to be really organized. And if that's not you, then bring in some help or consider, asking somebody else, declining to serve so that somebody else that can get the job done will get it done. A lot of people feel obligated to do this work because it was their parent. If you have somebody else who's a sibling who might be better suited and your parents named you because you're oldest, but your other sibling is way better at doing this, it's okay. It's okay to say, can you do this instead of me? Other things that I haven't really talked about are kind of just practical things. You have to notify Social Security that the person has died. Actually, typically the funeral home does that, but make sure that gets done. If there was income coming in from a pension, got to notify the pension provider that this person is deceased. Maybe there's ongoing paid services or subscriptions or health insurance or other insurances. You need to notify all of those companies to let them know that the person has passed. If you are administering this estate and let's say there's a house, make sure you secure the house. Now, you don't want to leave a house vacant necessarily, but maybe you have to. We'll change the locks. Make sure that there's security in place. One of the things that people often don't realize that they need to do is change the homeowner's insurance on the house. Now, if the house is going to be sold fairly quickly, not going to be so problematic depending on the homeowner's insurance and the policy and what it says in terms of how long it will continue after somebody dies. But don't make assumptions. If when somebody has died, look into what is the appropriate homeowner's insurance, because oftentimes this could be the biggest asset in the estate, and you certainly don't want, any, fires, any destruction, anything that could happen to this biggest asset, and the home is not considered insured, and the insurance company denies the loss because of, some technicality. So it's really important to make sure that you safeguard all assets. You likely are entitled to be compensated for all the work that you're doing. And people often say, I'm going to wait to make that decision. And if they're the only beneficiary of the estate, they are not going to take any compensation because they're getting everything. Also, if anybody takes compensation from the estate, that is earned income that you need to report to the IRS. So you're going to have a tax burden because of that. However, sometimes the person has done a lot of work. There's 6 beneficiaries of the estate. They put in, hundreds of hours, and they want to compensate themselves. They are entitled to do so. They simply have to report it as income.